evening and welcome to the Kick Off, covering all things rugby league in Bundaberg and the Wide Bay area. Joining me at the desk tonight is co-host Stephen Plath. Welcome, Stephen. How are you going?
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. And one of our guests is Tommy Akers from across the waves. Welcome, Tommy.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yep, good to see you, Tommy.
Yes, before we catch talking to Tommy, we're going to catch up with Central Burnett President Cameron McDonald over in Mundubbera. Can you hear me, Cameron?
How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you? Pretty good, mate.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Elected president of the Central Burnett, how's that going for you?
Yeah, look, it's a challenging job. No, it's great. I love rugby league, so it's been hard over the past few years. We've only had 3 teams out here, but this year we're back up to 4 teams with Iswell joining the competition after about 5 years out. So
yeah,
it's making for exciting times.
That's good. That was my next question. Is it good to have 4 teams? But there you go. What else is planned for Central Burnett?
We're building on the juniors as well out here this season. As a lot of people know, you can't have seniors without juniors. No. So that's definitely on the up for us out here as well.
That's good. As well as president, you're a glutton for punishment, and you're coaching as well. Coaching the Tigers.
Coaching the Mundubbera Tigers, my junior club, and obviously played a lot of senior footy out here as well. Someone had to put their hand up, so I decided to leave the boots at home this season and take on the coaching role.
Nah, good on you, Macca. That's someone's got to do it, mate. This sort of defeats the purpose of the question I was going to have for you, Macca, and that's we saw some vision there a couple of weeks ago of a couple of games out in the South Burnett, mate. I was going to touch on who you thought is a big chance of winning the premiership out there this year, mate.
Oh, mate, it's one of those questions. You sit on the fence as the president of Central Burnett, but as the coach from Mundubbera, I'd like to say the Tigers.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Gander are the side to beat, mate. I think they're on 5 years in a row. I think it is something like that.
Yeah, right.
They've got a great young side, and they'll definitely take some beating. But anyone's beatable on their day. So.
And Eidsvold coming back into the comp, are they showing any form out that way this year? How have they gone the first few rounds, mate?
Yeah, mate, the first couple of games they played Gander. There's a lot of talent there. Just putting the same team on the field each week is probably going to be tricky for them with a lot of boys travelling. Last game was against Mundubbera. They were a very young side, but they stuck it out. But then you've got the likes of boys from Wallaroos, BB's come over for a run. He's played for Brothers and everything. We know what sort of player he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Shawnee Collins.
Yeah.
So those kind of blokes, if they can gel with the crew and that, they could be dangerous. So.
Yeah, excellent. No, very good.
Yeah. You didn't have any games this weekend, mate. So we can't.
Yeah, no rescheduled this weekend, so there'll probably be no footage, but yeah. And then obviously nothing this weekend due to 47 Battalion.
Yeah. So I had a little letter sent to me, and I didn't want to talk about it without discussing it with you first, but there seems to be some issue about the state of oranges not being played at the Orange Festival. Is that a problem out there?
No. Oh, it's usually played this coming Sunday, but it makes for the only fixture in Central Division due to the 47 Battalion.
Yeah.
So the club's voted on it this year to give any players that actually wanted to have a crack at possibly making the Wide Bay Brahmins, I think they're called now, a chance to play in that and go to the 47 Battalion and play that step up of that different level of rugby league. But there's a few people that weren't too happy about it, but it was completely out of my hands. It was voted on by the clubs, so there was no bias there at all.
Yeah. That's all right. I just thought I'd check with you first before we stirred the pot, sort of thing. Yes, so. And what's next for you, Cameron? Pulling the boots back on, or?
No, I don't think so. The body's just about completely stuffed after a few years of footy. So, It's one of those things out here in the country. It's hard to sit back and watch, but yeah, it's definitely the body's told me no more. So,
Macca, eventually, mate, we all have to give it away. So just enjoy going there, being a part of it, mate. Coaching's a different beast, but at least you still get the thrill of being around the boys, mate, and enjoying your time and not getting up hurt and going to work on Monday, mate. So, you know.
Yeah, that's right, mate. It's only the head that hurts, I guess. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All I can say to you now is, Cameron, you're a good man for putting your hand up and leading the way out in bush footy there, mate. And really, the area needs a lot more people like you doing things like this. And we wish you all well for the season and throughout the year. Thanks for coming and joining us tonight, mate. And we'll hopefully catch up with you again.
Yeah, good to talk to you, Macca.
Yeah, no, definitely, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll definitely catch up in the future.
Cheers, Macca. Thanks a lot.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot: Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
Who can you call upon when interest rates are rising or if your fixed rate is ending? The Refinanciers from Aussie. We'll make your home loan work harder. Let's talk.
Well, thank you to Cameron McDonald in Mandurah, and now we're just going to have a little chat with Tommy. Welcome, Tommy.
Yeah, thanks, Dino. Thanks, Plathy, for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yep, still running around, mate, around the town.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
Won't last forever, though.
Yeah, playing with your brother.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so I played the first couple of A-grade games throughout the year and then made the decision to play with all of my mates and my brother in reserve grade. Obviously, thank you to Fuss and Simo who helped me out with that decision and gave me permission to do so. So, yeah, it was really good. Really happy. Our coach to Kitty Haikaki, he's doing really well as well. So, and we're 4-0, so we'll have a good start to the season. Obviously, our next game against Brothers is going to be very difficult. However, I think that we've got the right systems in place and the right troops in the right areas to get us going. It's
good to see the Tigers playing good football.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, in all three grades. You know, even though the under-18s went down on the weekend, they got a lot of talented players. Dan Carpenter and Tom Walkham and Taylor and Matt Manhattan. They're really good players. So I feel like that they'll find their groove. A lot of players never played together before, and they're finally getting in the groove of it. So that's really good. Reggie's, we've had a crew that's been there for a long time now. We're pretty unfortunate the past 3 seasons, coaches changing throughout the year, players moving away, so that's always made it difficult, but this year the squad's looking really good. And A-grade Morney's got the boys firing. They're playing really well. Had a great win on the weekend. Obviously the new signing, Joshy Hill, mate, he can play football. He's really good. So obviously we lost a couple with Dan McLennan, Jacob O'Shea and Nick Semmer retiring, but we've definitely done our best to rebuild, and the boys are going in the right direction.
I drive past a couple of times, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and loads of numbers, mate. You've got loads of numbers there.
Yeah, definitely. Like Morney touched on last week's episode, we've just got a good camaraderie and good culture around the club at the moment. We've got 3 great coaches across 3 divisions doing really good jobs with getting the boys there. We've got great committee, we've got great volunteers. The club's in a really, really good spot. And, you know, I think the mission for the boys now is to leave it how you got there. Make sure that when we all hang the boots up, it's in a good spot for the next lot coming through. So, yeah.
So, Tommy, just going to touch on that. He's had a big win there, 72-8 over the Harvey Bay Seagulls on the weekend.
Yep.
Well, that sort of speaks for itself. You said your next round game will be not this weekend, it should be the one after 47 Battalion round this weekend, after rep round. And you've got brothers, both undefeated teams.
Yeah, mate, yeah, it'll be a massive game, that one. Obviously, they've got some really good players. They've got some players that I've played with football before. They've got players that I've versed against for a long time. So they're going to have a really good quality side. Obviously, we'll have a couple missing because it's Magic Round weekend. You always lose a couple through that period. So, but it's going to be definitely a really good reality check. You know, when you verse teams and you have a great win, you also want to make sure you have a tough game after. You want to have that reality check to make sure, hey, you might have done well last week, but this is a 16-round competition. You know.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right there, Tommy. Like, if we're going to have a chat quickly about the brothers boys too, they've turned around. We've had a few dry sort of years, always sort of been in and around finals, and even back in 19, we finished top of the table in Reggie's, and then with a few players dropping back from other clubs who hadn't made grand final and so on late into the semis, they come up against some pretty good competition. So I'm under the belief that sort of thing isn't happening these days. So it should be a really competitive competition. I know brothers. I got the opportunity to sit there with Tempo and watch that one on Saturday. And the east side, they were a pretty handy side, very strong and through the middle. But boys just needs to hold them out and get over the top of them too. So
I completely agree with you, Plathy. I think it's going to be a really tough competition, that reserve grade competition. A lot of results. While the two top teams are undefeated, like they've all been close, good games of football as well. I feel like the skills in reserve grade's gone up a lot better than it used to be in 5 to 10 years ago. I feel like the player quality's gone up as well. So,
I know from a brother's perspective that we're looking at blood and 18 straight in there as much as they want to have a run and get some experience, and that just sort of sets them up better than if they're to move up and play A grade. Yeah. So, with better younger kids coming through, a few older heads around them, it only teaches them the game, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's been some good games at Salters this last 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it all looks good for the future. So we can see if we can keep them there. Yeah. So what's next for Tommy Akers?
Oh, boys, obviously finish out the year, try get through with minimal injuries as possible. The wife will probably knock the retirement door, knock on it soon, but I probably won't stop playing until I'm about 50 odd. But at the end of the day, rugby leagues was my first love, and I've always loved the game, and you make the best mates you can for life out of it, and that's the only reason why I play. I don't play because I like getting my head whacked or anything like that. But yeah, definitely going to continue to keep playing a bit of footy. Obviously, enjoy reserve grade this year, and then next year transition back into A grade and go from there. But yeah.
So, how's the rivalry with the brothers? With your brother, you're with the Penny Panthers in the Souths.
Yeah,
still going,
mate. Penrith 13 plus forever. But no, honestly, it's really good to play footy with my brother Dean, and I've previously played at Brothers, and I had the opportunity to play with John at Brothers. We both went to Waves, and we've had the opportunity to do it again. So I feel like that when me and John are on the park, we can settle everything down and hopefully get a good result for our team. And John, he's been an A-grade player at 3 clubs. He's had a really good local football career. He's won a comp and everything like that as well. So having old experienced heads like that in a reserve grade side is really, really good for us.
Yeah, so what's your grow from like a cheeky little 10-year-old running down under 10s?
Who's that?
You at the Brothers Club?
Yeah.
Running around as a cheeky under 10-year-old.
As you boys know, my old man, he was at Waves, and then got the opportunity to coach under 18s, and fuel prices were pretty high back then, so you could only go to one club. So joined Brothers, and as you boys know, I loved my time at Brothers, but I just wanted to challenge myself, and that's the decision why I went to Waves. But obviously you guys, I've known you guys for yonks now, Dean, especially you. But yeah, absolutely love Brothers, and I have no hate or anything despise to them at all, because they developed me and gave me the opportunities that I've had in rugby league.
I started there when I came to Australia.
Yeah.
I played for season for Wanderers.
Yeah.
And then coached juniors for 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, awesome club. Like I said, they've given me
I played all my footy there.
Yeah. I wouldn't have got the opportunities without it. Yeah.
I played juniors at Brothers, and then ended up at Wanderers, and became across the Waves.
So
the merry-go-round goes.
No games this weekend, so you got a bit of a rest. A bit of family time.
Yeah, mate, a bit of a rest. Actually heading up to Rockhampton to play for the Wide Bay Whales in the rugby union competition. But while I'm
I want to wish all
the boys luck in the in the battalion. I played in it last year with Matty Temperman and Plathy as my coaches. I enjoyed the experience. I honestly feel like it made me a better player, and I think that Corey and the boys will have plenty of success up there. Hopefully, some of the boys on the squad can escape some suspensions and they can put out the best team for Bundaberg. But in that case, if the suspensions do happen, I'm sure that Bundaberg has a lot of depth and a lot of good players that can take that position and really help us be at the top where we belong.
Yeah, it's good, and they're working now also on the Wide Bay Bulls, getting them better. It's only going to bring out better players to the region.
I think the way the whole competition, and the Cyril Connells and all that sort of thing, for a long time we were regarded as the
easy beats.
Yeah, well, the arsehole of Queensland, to be honest, I've been told. So for these programs and all the different stuff, and like the performance that you put on up there last year in Gladstone for the 47 we made the final and haven't beaten Toowoomba in years, and to come out on top against them, make the final and only narrowly get beaten by Rocky, who that was their first ever win of the 47, was a massive effort, and it just goes to show that the processes that have been put in place by the competitions and the regions and then the states on top of that, it's only good for them young blokes as they grow up and come forward. It's all pathway stuff, and it's awesome for the comp.
So. Absolutely,
great stuff. Thank you for your time, Tom. Thanks for coming along. It's been good to talk to you,
Tommy.
Good to see you,
mate. Thank you.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
Welcome back to the Kick-Off, and joining us at the table now is Matthew Templeman, President of Pass Brothers Rugby League Club in Bundaberg. Welcome, Matthew.
Thanks for having me, Dino.
Welcome, Matty. Good to see you.
You too. You too.
Second year as President, mate. How's it going?
Yes, very testing job, as you would be well aware.
Yep.
Enjoyed it. Enjoy the camaraderie with the boys and doing what I can to get the best out of them and for them to feel comfortable within their surroundings. So yeah, just enjoying it, staying in touch.
Anything new been implemented at the club this year?
Oh, there's little bits and pieces. We touch on a few little things with the lads and stuff like that, but nothing to write home about so far.
Plans moving forward? What's your plans for the club?
Well, I don't have too many plans at the moment. I've probably got too many plans.
Get through the season, eh?
Yeah, just get through the season.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a bee in a bonnet about losing the A-grade grand final last year to Harvey Bay. So first and foremost, we're concentrating on that one. And then obviously it's been a big year rebuilding reserve grade to get us back to the position we're in Reggie's. And the 18s are also smarting as well. So Andy Philo really wants to get his boys primed for the right time of the year this year.
Yeah, he was going to come in, but he's had to work. So
Roger.
Any new signings at the club?
Yeah, we've had quite a few this season. Probably the big ones have been Mitch Taylor, Matty Craven, both joined over from East. Cravo's obviously a brothers junior. He's come back to not finish his career, but to come back to brothers on a good note. And there's been a few: Mitch Trims, Quinton Olive.
Quinton Olive, he's come back to the club tempo after 2019, I think. No, 17.
Yeah.
2017, and he got a job out in the mines.
Yeah, so Q's been working away and still is.
Yeah.
So, he's just a one-on, one-off type prospect
So fly
for
in,
us.
fly out now.
Fly in, fly out for Q. But, you know, when you've got a player of his calibre, you know,
And he's already 2017 premiership winner, so he's
absolutely.
been there and done it before.
Yeah, amazing footballer is Q. So, so we obviously had to replace a lot of players that were ISIS juniors and have gone back to help rebuild ISIS and put their best foot forward to rejoin the BRL in the coming years. So, you know, that was a big hole, losing 6 A-grade players in January, I think it was. But good on the lads going back out there.
They'll be loving that one.
They will be. They will be. You know,
that,
we all still talk and keep in touch, and the boys come to the club quite often. So it's really good to see them doing well out there.
Been to a few games this week myself, and you've got plenty of young lads coming through, playing up in A grade and filling in when they need to.
Yeah. So the weekend was a baptism of fire for a couple of the lads. Zeke Monkton and Mitch Sly in particular. These two kids are still 17 and basically the halves and outside backs in the 18s.
Zeke Monkton, he really impressed me, mate, to be honest. Great debut effort.
Yeah, so we had a lot of our experienced cattle out on the weekend. There was no Cravo, no Mitch Taylor and the like. Ty Priestley got injured
early
in the first minute.
Minutes. Yep.
The first minute, I think, the first hit up. So it was kind of lumped onto Zeke Monkton to step up to the plate and lead the boys around. And did he do a good job at that? And I think
Tyler
he got
Hodge still suspended.
Yeah, Hodgie's still suspended. I think he's back next game.
He's free to play.
Yes. But Zeke Monkton, wow, the kid's an absolute talent. So for him to lead an A-grade team around in his debut game is just awesome.
And touching on that, Bryden Blair come off with a head knock a couple of minutes into the second half. So, you know, he spent 30-odd minutes doing the job on his own, basically.
Yeah. And
that was, I guess, that was the thing that impressed me the most about how he went about it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been in the Wide Bay Bulls system for a couple of years now. So I guess, you know, the fruit's sort of rising to the top.
That's exactly right.
So before we get on to talking about the games and the results, I asked Reece Morn a question last week, so a little bit of a new one. So I'm asking you this week, Matthew, is rugby league, where did it start and where has it taken you?
Started with my dad and my older brother Jason. I was 5. And Dad just came in one day and asked whether I wanted to play rugby league, and because the big triple was planned for brothers back then. So I was 5 years old and kicked off out at Brothers Juniors there, and it's been a long road now. I'm near on 40, so I've been kicking around for 35 years.
Still having a run in Reggie's too, by the way.
Still having a run in Reggie's, but enjoyed all of the years, you know, whether it be Bundy Rugby League or Central Crows or, you know, Brisbane footy and State League and stuff like that. I've always loved footy, always loved playing, always been involved, keen to learn. You know, now I'm sort of in administrative roles as a president and whatnot, and it's always still evolving and learning, you know, every week. So, it's awesome.
Yeah, Q Cup winner.
Yeah.
I think you've been a bit short on
where it took you.
On where it's taken you. How many years did you captain the Queensland Rangers for, Matty? You did 3 years?
3 years, I think,
and then
5 in total.
5 in total. And, mate, scored the winning try to win a Key Cup Grand Final.
Yeah, well, scored a try.
I thought it was the... I'm probably giving you a bit more of a rap than you need.
It was a try. That was amazing. That really was. Bit of an intercept, had to run 50 metres or so, and I just got to score the try in the corner where all the South supporters were. We were playing at North Ipswich Reserve, so there was 20,000 Ipswich sort of supporters heckling us, and a couple
I've had a game there too, mate. It's not nice.
Yeah, a couple of Souths.
They get the hill and the can bar shaking up there, I tell you.
That was unreal. But just the experience of that is something that... you know, everyone should aspire to play at the highest level they can just to get that experience.
New York with the Fire Brigade.
Yes. 2019, we shot over to New York as part of our celebration for 9/11, commemorative game with the Queensland Police Service. It's been a joint venture for 10 years or so now that was kicked off by some of the boys in Brizzy. It's just basically to pay homage and remember our fallen brothers from 9/11. So it means a lot to all of us guys in the police and the fireys. So to be able to go over to New York and showcase our game and what we've had in place for 10 years now to, you know, our brothers over there was absolutely amazing. So, you know, just the trip in itself was awesome, but then we were involved in 9/11 March and all the rest of it. So
Now, just before we get off that, there's another little yarn that comes behind that. Being the A-grade coach of brothers in 2019, and Tempo comes to me, being a player in that side, and said about going on the trip. I said, yep, no problems. When's your flight due back in? Blah, 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 leading up to a grand final. Yep, we get back day before, everything's worked out. And what happened, Matty?
flew from New York, JFK to LAX, and got into LAX, and they said, your flight's been cancelled.
So I get a phone call with God knows when, saying, we don't know if I'm going to be home for the grand final. I panicked a little bit, and then it all worked out at the end. We got onto them, and they sorted you out, but you're pretty much up for 24 hours.
Yes, no sleep for 24 hours, and got to play in that game, and have another victory.
Got another win.
Yes.
Yeah,
The rest is history.
I've just got one question from my missus. Are you doing another calendar anytime soon?
Absolutely not. I'm about 30 kilos heavier than I should be.
Okay. So thanks for that, Matt. We'll move on now to the league games from the weekend. So we've got the first game up. We had across the waves Tigers versus Harvey Bay Seagulls, which we have some footage of that game. Big win for the Tigers.
Yeah, mate, that was... Harvey Bay didn't look too bad early on. Waves got a couple of quick tries, but then they sort of got into the grind, I think, a little bit. Didn't really fall totally apart until the second half.
Yeah. They got a bit frustrated, I think, in that game, because you get into them games where the ball doesn't bounce your way, the call doesn't get your way, and then you start getting behind and it plays on your mind, and then they ended up with that.
That Waves team's a good football side.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's young, enthusiastic, and a very fit and well-drilled footy team. Yeah. So full kudos to Waves. They put on a very good performance, but feel for Harvey Bay a little bit. They've lost a lot of cattle since last year, and full credit to the guys that are out there week in, week out, putting in the effort.
They never stop. It's just they just got a bit frustrated in the
dying minutes.
That double movement there. But
there was a couple of things there. There was a bit of push and shove towards the back end of that game too. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that.
Three got sent off.
Yeah,
I think the young...
the young hooker, I think he just wouldn't stop opening his mouth. I think that's maybe an experience thing for him. You got to know when to bite your lip at times.
Billy Carter,
but the other one, bit controversial. Matt and I actually were standing there watching that, and I had a certain opinion on what we thought happened, but that'll be pretty much the only comments I'll make on that. But
so. We caught up with, on the losing side, we caught up with Ethan West. He had a few words to say on what was going, as Billy was indisposed. So, breezy conditions today, how did you find that?
Oh, the conditions were fine, It was pretty windy out there. There wasn't that much kicks that I could remember of, so it was pretty good. More of them doing the running more than kicking.
So no pre-games plans to get the kick in and work with the wind?
Nah, there was no not at all. Didn't have It was just basically run the ball and just try to get rid of it whenever we can, but didn't really have the ball to do that, really, did we?
Nearly scored early in the first half, nearly a full length of the field try, just got caught in the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately we nearly got one over there, but in that first half, but the boys are just a little bit quicker than ours, so hopefully we can make up for it next round.
Bit of a hard game, but there's plenty to work on. But you can't fault the effort that the boys put in. Just got a bit frustrated a bit in the second half.
Yeah, well, every time we come out in the field, the boys will say just put 100% effort in. That's basically what they give. We can't be disappointed in the effort that we give, so yeah, but we've just got to work on our defence a lot and our fitness.
You had an injury with a young lad last week. Can you tell us how he's doing?
Yeah, I haven't heard much of him, much on him, but he's going pretty good at the moment.
Okay, thanks for your time, and hope you enjoy the week off next week. So 47th Battalion.
I definitely going to enjoy that week off. The body needs it.
So yeah, he's pretty positive. Looking forward to getting away for the week, the rest of the bodies, and get into some serious training.
Yeah, absolutely,
Again,
mate.
always positive.
They've had a tough start to the year, but I think they can only improve.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we also caught up with Reece Morn after the game, winning captain, and this is what he had to say. A good run out today. Happy with the performance?
Yeah, pretty happy with the performance. Good score, good scoreline. You know, we played good footy when we wanted to, finished what we had to, and yeah, come away with the result.
It's a bit hard sometimes in games like that to stick to your processes. Do you think you managed that today?
I believe so. We had to pull the boys in the line a couple of times. You know, got a bit trigger happy, trying to shoot from our own half. We don't play that sort of footy, but like you said, you know, it's a bit like that when the score line gets like that. But overall, we played pretty good footy, I think.
Half time, coach happy?
Yeah, he's pretty happy. A bit disappointed with the try we let in the end there. That was just weak defence on the right side. Those boys know it, and we'll work on that. Yeah.
Got a bit heated in the second half. Do you think they got a bit frustrated with how the game was going?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe frustration come out on the paddock. We just tried, you know, try not to get involved and try not to get the suspensions under our belt. We don't want any of that. We just go out there to play good footy and, you know, cool heads prevail.
Standouts for you today?
My brother Cody Morn scored 4 tries, so I'll give it to him. And you know, I think, you know, everyone had a good run, really.
So he talked about not getting dragged down to the level that they're playing, and not trying to score on every play and stick to their processes.
Mm-hmm. Very tough thing when you got a points lead like that for any team to do, sticking to your process. So that's really good on their behalf for them to be out there on the field, going through that and sticking to that.
Yeah, they had, you know, coming from what happened last week, I think Reece and Cody Morn both didn't play the game before. Cody Morn, awesome form, killed it, 4 tries on the weekend, I think.
Yep.
You know, he's a good footballer. He's played at high level too, and it shows. You know, you look around it. Reece is a very, very experienced player. He'd be a great man for them to have at the club. He just goes out, does his job, tough, but also wise head in the middle. So.
Yeah, he's touching 30 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next game, Maryborough Wallaroos versus Western Suburbs. We touched on this a couple of times, that the trip down to Maryborough is they just get better and better as the season goes on. And
well,
that result there.
That result shocked me, Dino.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen.
Maryborough getting up 18-10. That's
so it's the hardest trip for any Bundy team to go down and play Wallaroos in Maryborough on a cold Saturday night.
Some of them nights down there, it's freezing. Like you just don't want to walk out the shed.
And like West, after their performance against us the week before, they were phenomenal. They are a very good football team, very physical, you know, and they wouldn't be out of place in that sort of last week of footy in this season. So, you know, that's surprising. Good on Wallaroos. That's a mighty effort.
It is.
Yeah. So they, I was made aware that Big Bradley Jung made a bit of a comeback for them. To have a wise head in the middle playing up in the front row. That's a big get.
Yeah. So apparently both the Jungs.
Yeah, his nephew.
Nephew.
Okay.
Will be making a return as well. That's the talk.
Excellent.
So yeah, they're very handy, and obviously Bobby Blair still running around there, running the show in the halves.
And mate, he is well, back in
NRL
his
Super League.
He's done it all, mate.
Yep,
so.
exactly right.
That experience from him is only going to benefit them.
Yeah, for sure.
As the season gets
There's
longer.
a lot of young kids in that side. And
just game management. When you need those wise heads out there, he's the man that will just steer that ship around. So that's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So the last main game at Bundaberg was the Pass Brothers versus Eastern Magpies. 14-all draw.
Yes.
What a game that was.
Tough physical game.
Yes, mate. If I touch on that first, super proud for the amount of young kids that were out there. 2 on debut for brothers. Mate, they were unreal. They did not shirk the task one bit. They just kept standing up, being behind and working hard for the last 15 minutes of that game to get a try and kick the goal to come to 14-all. You know, you couldn't be more proud of that effort.
Yep. They really had to stand up, you know. So many leaders were missing and you know, so proud of lads, so proud of everyone out there. You got the likes of Luke Stalinovic, who's been playing through the middle, front row, lock positions and playing 80 minutes every single week.
Doesn't whinge, doesn't argue. Where do you need me? Coaching goes and does his job.
Here we lost.
Ty Priestley, that was in the first couple of minutes, mate, and that hurt us. You lose your captain, you know, your main leader, your talker out the back, and but they just kept standing up.
Yeah, they did. They did. So it was a to and fro sort of game, and you know, East are a quality side, so when they get their full complement on the field, they're going to be
they're going to be hard
team.
to beat. I thought a few good players there for brothers, like a couple of the senior boys, like you said, Luke Stalanovic, he really stood up. Benai moved then from the winger into fullback, and he had another great game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the couple of the young forwards, unreal. It was good to see Hayden Priestley make his return to the club. He hasn't been there since 2017 also. So.
Yep. And then you look on the east side. Will Walthall and the like, Andreas Nona, Trent Seeds.
Yeah.
You know, they've got quality all
right
over
across
the fields.
the board. Absolutely.
And some of these big outside backs that they've got running around East, they're certainly a handful. They just play 110% no matter what they're doing, attack, defence. So they're an absolute handful for every team.
Yeah, they're naturally gifted, speed, talent, strength.
Yes.
You know, they're the things that you need in a footballer, and with 4 or 5 running around in A grade every week for them, that it's only going to serve really good for East this year. That's for sure. It was one last thing there. It was good to see Colby Richo out of the blue.
Yeah, so Colby's come back, and hopefully he'll be playing a fair few games this year. He's concentrating on university and not playing his footy at Pine Rivers in Brisbane this year. So. You know, he's a phenomenal talent, Colby.
He had a year at the Dolphins, didn't he? A year at the Dolphins in Colts, I believe, Sir O'Connell.
Yes.
Yeah, was that Malmaninga Cup, and to have him back at the club. The Richos have been around the club quite some time, and all the boys play footy, and even Nell Davey,
their father,
their old man, who I actually played footy with back in the day, is still having a run around reserve grade. So, mate, they're a good family. They all stick together, so to have Colby back, that's a big get for us, I think.
So speaking of Colby, he couldn't wait to get on the microphone when we went. So we caught up with Colby after the game, and this is what he had to say.
Yeah, well, Benny did a great job filling in. Obviously a big loss, but shout out to the boys on debut covering for us. They really did a good job. So yeah,
a few under-18s had a run out today. That'll be a good, big learning experience for them.
100%. Those boys are probably some of our better players tonight. They just really took control there. Really mature for their age, so killed it.
Tight first half. Few mistakes in the early stages, but they both got into the groove, getting onto the second half of the first half.
Yeah, we're probably both a bit clunky, both teams. We're just lucky that they were probably dropping as much as us, but we chatted about that at half time, and hopefully we fix it up second half.
Talk from the coach.
Yeah, he just said that we should need to be smarter when we're attacking. Our defence, both halves, were pretty good, but our attack was just a bit clunky first half, but we fixed that up.
Got behind there and then just snatched a point at the end. How did that feel?
Yeah, that was good. I was just in the right position, right time. Probably a bit lucky there to get that one. They were pretty good, so just happy to get the draw for that one. Yeah.
Your best on field tonight?
My best on field, probably Benai. Thrust in there, start of the game in a different position. Probably wasn't ready, but he just really killed it. He was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, got a week now to recover because they're all playing the 47th Battalion. Looking forward to a rest.
yeah, 100% we'll need that. That was a tough game, a lot of ball in play, so I think we're all ready for that week off, yeah.
Thank you for your time, Colby. Colby was pretty impressed with the juniors that played with.
Yeah, it's you know, it's fantastic for us as a footy club to have these kids that are coming through that want to advance their careers further, and also step up and play A grade for us at the same time. Those lads that did play for us on the weekend had to back up, drive out to Kingaroy on the Sunday and fulfil their under-18s commitments then. Yeah. So, you know, to debut in A grade, 80 minutes at halfback and Mitch Sly on the wing, and then push out to Kingaroy next day.
Yeah, turn around and play a 3 o'clock game.
Junior as well, yeah. So we had multiple
massive. There. Yeah, we were very short with probably senior A grade players on the weekend, but should be all right to go. Yeah, should be nearly 100%, I think. By the time come back to cross the waves in the next round.
So also after this game we caught up with Eastern Suburbs Jaden Smith. He seems to be their spokesman, so he came and had a chat. Good solid first half from both sides there, close at the half-time break.
Yeah, pretty solid grind that game, really tough. Pretty proud of the boys for actually stringing together 2 halves this week. Very physical, so a lot to build on for us, but we're pretty happy with that. To finally put 2 halves together was good.
Lots of chances on both sides, probably all spoilt by some solid defence on both sides.
Yeah, it was tough in defence from both sides. I think they'd put a shot on and then we'd put one on back, so definitely very physical, and there'll be some sore bodies tomorrow.
Coach's half-time talk?
Just like I said last week, again, string together a second half. I think he'll be pretty happy with it. We sort of stuck to our game plan of kicking to corners and solid defence, so yeah, I think he'll be pretty happy with us doing what we were told.
Nice interception there, leading to a Delroy try. You look to go on with it from there?
Yeah, it's good to have them boys out wide who can read the game really well, and it's good to sort of ice it at the end and not force a pass and make an error. So it was really good. Pretty happy with them.
So still a good arm wrestle in the last 15 minutes, and you look to have got the points, and then you just had one snatched away from you.
Yeah, right at the end. It's pretty disappointing, but like I said, there's a lot of good things to take away. We got the draw, so we get a point, but a lot of good to come away from it. So we're really happy.
Yeah, you'll be both sides should be happy with that result on a really tough game this week.
Yeah, definitely. We're very happy, and it's good to have a week off as well now. We've got a lot to work on again, so I think the week off will be really good for us, and hopefully we can build from that going into the next round.
Yeah, week off for the 47th Battalion and go home and rest all your bruises and your aches.
Yeah, it's good to get a week off after a game like that, so looking forward to it.
Thanks for your time, Jaden.
Appreciate it.
So that's Jaden. He seemed to. He was happy with the way the team played. They've been dropping off in the
back end
of the games for fitness, and he says they've been working on that.
Yeah, no, they were pretty solid. I thought all the way through that game. You know.
Yeah. Yep. Tough contest from minute 1 to minute 80. So it's obviously he knows his team and. He's seen that they've been working tough, doing the tough yards at training to get them to that position.
No, it's good. It seems like the new coach over at East is doing a good job. He's getting them working pretty hard. So, look, to be honest, like contests like that, 14-all draws, like it's good footy to sit there and watch.
It's fantastic.
Have a couple of cold beers, watch that live. Yeah. It's just good for the competition. I think.
Good solid defence, and then.
A bit of flair and attack, mate.
Bit of flair and attack, and
yeah, absolutely good footy.
Some flying backs and
excellent.
Yeah, real good. So we touched on the reserve grade across the Waves and Seagulls when Tommy was here, and so past brothers Bundaberg reserve grade and Eastern Magpies, a 22-12 win to the brothers.
Yeah, so East have been the benchmark in the reserve grade comp for a number of years now. So for the brothers boys who are rebuilding through their reserve grade at the moment, that's a mighty big win and keeps us 4 from 4 in that grade. So it was a tough contest.
Absolutely.
East is still a fantastic side in the reserve grade.
Yeah.
Our boys just gritted out a tough win. So when you got guys like Dan Finter and Tom Murray.
Yeah, Tommy Murray's a really handy acquisition again. After coming off what was that 2021 premiership in A grade. Yep. He stepped away, but he's come back to coach the reserve grade. Very, very smart footballer. you know, you look at him out there, and I think to myself, he should still be playing A grade, but that's not what he wants to do. So
No, and Tommy's got a good sort of mantra going there, and you know, he's rewarding the boys that are at training and training hard. Basically, you're not training, you're not getting a game. We've got the numbers
there.
there.
Should be, mate.
Yeah, for them
Fight
to do
for
that.
Position.
And we're also trying to promote to the 18s. You know, they're on the cusp. Here's your pathway through to A grade and beyond. You know, through reserve grade. So we've got a lot of good young kids coming through there too.
Stick to what the coaches are doing, and then you get your opportunity.
Absolutely.
Maryborough got beaten in the reserve grade by Western Suburbs 8-20. I've had no. I've been on the website looking. I've had no contact with anybody regarding how that game went,
mate, that's
down in Maryborough.
That's the first I've heard of that one, Dino. So Western Suburbs, I think Brothers played them in the round before. Matty, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. What are they?
They're a really good reserve grade team. A lot of youth. A lot of experience mixed together well. They're probably the most physical reserve grade side running around. It's just a Western Suburbs thing. They love their physical footy and you really feel it. So that game that we played against West was a real slugfest and a solid one. So
I think they were going well, but they just started giving away a few too many penalties.
And, a little bit of ill discipline. You know, went against them.
But they were really in the game up until that point.
Yep.
No, well, that's good.
So that's a big win for West. Again, winning down at Maryborough.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, go down there. It's hard to get blokes to jump on the bus and go down, even though the trip home's a good time.
Yes, fantastic.
Getting down there's a nightmare.
We've had that.
But
we've had the bus competition.
Looking over the reserve grade competition, she's all really tight, mate. Just well, be as tight as the A grade comp at the moment. I think that's just really good for the game.
Yeah, it is. It's well balanced. And if we've got all grades firing, close games, you know, it's only good for the competition, good for the region.
Absolutely.
Good for the juniors that are coming out and watching and seeing that there is
and
good footy.
they've got something to aspire to.
That's
They're
exactly
like, look how hard the older fellas are going, you know, and once they hit 15, 16, it's not that far away from them. So,
because at the end of the day, we really need to be looking at these things. So the 16s, you know, fostering the kids through and realising that reserve grade's still a really good competition, and then our A grade's really good competition, because it is tough in Bundy. There's not much here for kids of that age to stick around and play. So this is good.
Yeah. All right. So that covers all the games in Bundaberg, and there was, like I said, there were no games in the Central Burnett, and then we had the Northern Districts. So Gingin got up over the Miriam Vale Magpies. 30-16.
Okay.
And Isis Devils have taken out the Avondale Tigers 30-24.
That's still a close game, isn't it?
Yeah.
30-24. Avondale, yeah, well, I would have thought Childers had a lot better team on paper maybe than the Tigers, but for them to get that close, I think that's a great effort.
Yeah. I don't know whether they've got some players back, but some of the earlier games were
they were a bit short on.
They're a bit tighter scores now, so it looks as though they're going to have some good football out in the districts.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, 30-16 in the Gingin Marianvale game, that's still tight.
Yeah, that is. You're
only 2 tries out of that.
2 tries out of that's right.
That's really good for that competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, years gone by, there was a couple of dominating teams, and you could see week 6 or 7 who was probably most likely going to be in. But with scores coming through like that, anything can happen then.
Yeah.
Which I love nice tight scores in footy. It just keeps the viewer interested, and you never want to see these scores of 72-4 and stuff like that. It just means that one side's been totally dominant, and it's not as good to watch.
Yeah, well, I just know from the Avondale and Isis point of view that there's a lot of Bundy Rugby League A-grade footballers out in that competition at the moment. So, obviously it's improving. So the quality's improving with those guys being out there. So
excellent.
That'd be a good game. I haven't seen any of the footage from those games,
but just
brilliant.
We didn't have any footage this time.
This week. No? Okay.
So in the Women's League, we've got the Avondale Tigresses, and ISIS Devils Ladies, and that was 36-10 to the ISIS Devils Ladies. So
Very
I think there's a couple of girls who played at Brothers.
We got
in
a couple
the ISIS.
from
We've got-
the old days. There's a few in that Gin side, I think.
Yeah, no, there
but
is
yeah,
indeed, yeah.
I'd say a couple of the
Yeah.
ISIS girls that know to run for Brothers over the years.
Yeah, I know Hayley Blair's running around out
Yeah,
there.
right, excellent.
You know, and the like, and Zachy Dan's wife, Sarah.
Oh, she having a run too?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. I see a few of the posts coming up on Facebook and the like. So,
excellent.
no, it's really good. It's good that the ladies are running around there and having a red hot crack.
Yeah,
So-
it's good to see.
There's an up and young lady coming through. Made her debut this week in the in the
little
tag.
Harlow.
Little Harlow.
I'd
and
like to let
my
you
granddaughter.
know, Dean, she ran straight up to me after the game, and I said, "Oh, Harlow, how did you go?" And she said, "I got player of the match,
Yep.
Plovey." And I said, "Oh, did you score a try?" "Yeah, I ran the whole length." So looks like she's going real well, mate.
Yeah. After the first run when she went the wrong way.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But that
Fair
happened
enough.
on all sides.
That's the joys. That's the joys.
Yeah, it's great
So
stuff.
that's the football covered. We've got nothing else. Thanks for coming along, Matt.
Thank you very much for having me.
coming along and
So
letting
it's
us know
been-
what's happening up at the Brothers Club.
Been a good
Again,
experience.
thanks,
Yeah.
Plathy,
Yeah,
for
no
coming
problem, Dean. Good to be here, mate.
Yes, and the tie this week is not a rugby league tie, but it's my Royal Engineers tie. I was
For
with
Anzac Day?
in England for Anzac Day. So lest
Excellent.
we forget.
And there was no memo between us, just happened to be in the same shirt tonight, mate.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, no memo at all.
Yeah, I'll be watching the texts and the write-ups and on the socials for that. And
Yeah.
so there is no football in Bundaberg next week, so we will be back the following week and look forward to catching you up again for the kick-off, all things rugby league in Bundaberg and the White Bay area. Thank you.